Welcome back to the Moor Culture Podcast. I am your host, and I'm here with Brother Sharif. I am Brother Tyshan Edwards Bay. We're here at the Moor Culture Center. Okay. And a lot of stuff's going on, so I'm like a little all over the place right now, but we're going to get it figured out. And, it's been a minute since we've been here, Mo. Been a minute. Get that mic pulled a little bit to your mouth there. And this is, I believe, this is the 12th episode. Yeah, this is the 12th episode that is in supreme mathematics. That is knowledge, wisdom, all being born to understanding. So to gain understanding, you have to go with the knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is the foundation, as we know, and wisdom, what you get from applying knowledge, and you get an understanding when you get a full understanding and a more clear picture when you apply knowledge to your wisdom. For example, I'm here to get to soak up your wisdom. You're on a whole nother degree than I am in multiple sciences. I might be versed in some that you're not versed in, but no matter what, in totality, just because of numbers, you have more wisdom in general. Mo, I'm here to soak up your knowledge. It's going to be an interview, me interviewing you, basically. I got some things to say. I have my own thoughts and opinions, but I'm definitely, interviewing you, Brother Sharif, because you are well versed. So before we go too much further, I'm going to greet everybody with whatever greeting they prefer. We use Islam. Assalamu alaikum. Islam, assalamu alaikum. How I sleep, my apologies. Islam, assalamu alaikum. Ayonio, Rahu Bat, Hotep Shalom. Alafia. I keep saying Ionio. Ionio is, I wish I knew what language that was, but it is West African. Alafia, West African as well. Hotep. Yeah, I'm not missed that. Hotep Shalom, Mahubat, all the good stuff, whatever you want. But peace. It all means peace. That's what it is. It's peace. Peace. Islam, no peace. So I hope that I hear this all on the computer. But we have a lot to talk about. You had, your spirit was filled with the holy breath, Mo, and you're supposed to be here Monday, but this is the last week of school here in Wilmington. All the schools are letting out. All the public schools are letting out, and most of private schools as well. This is the week of graduations, next steps for a lot of these children. And, we have an announcement to make later about, some of the events we're going to have here. This is recording as well. So we might have some issues streaming, but this is recording. We might be upload this. And yeah, it's a beautiful time of the year, but it's jam-packed with a lot of stuff happening. So that's why I'm a little all over the place. I've been working all over the place, and I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I get some tea now for the first time in all day. I'm not used to having tea this late in the day. I'm used to having tea first thing in the morning, but I was just too busy up all night to even, have a normal routine this morning. But Mo, what's on your mind? You feel that note.
It's a lot on my mind. I would start off with what I was thinking about earlier when the Prophet Muhammad, the peace and blessing of Allah, received this revelation. Angel Gabriel shook him. Said, "Iqra." He said, "I can't." "Iqra." So I can't. He told it, "Read." She read, named their garden Lord. Taught man the use of the pen. Taught him that which he knew not. Then he began to receive the revelations. And I'm saying that to all my brothers and sisters out there. Read, named the garden Lord. Taught you the use of the pen. Taught man that which you knew not. I'm listening the other day, and Trump wanted to take from all the schools who taught the critical race theory away all their funds. We should be teaching our children anyway. We should be teaching our children when our babies use the alligator bait, and that the cities, that towns they sunk and put in New York Central Park used to be a community. They put a lake over top of it, and Lake Lanier, when they killed all the people of our family, put a lake over top of it. It's haunted today. In Wellington, North Carolina, with a lot of, we were the majority of that politically, and the plan came to, they changed things around.
Took the town by force.
Yes,
on American soil and in a government facility. So insurrection.
That's the reason why we got white supremacy, because you should never walk the earth with low self-esteem, my brother, sister. You got white supremacy because you're beautiful. You're the children of heaven. But you stop walking around with low self-esteem. And them sun dodgers rule off fear. And the colonizers, they rule off fear. And when the greatest plan is the Doctrine of Discovery. And it's still going on today. And they believe in the divine right of kings, where they were chosen by God to rule the rest of the world. So it's up. You have to leave. Tell me about the civilization that they found. Tell me. I don't see, when I get to studying anthropology and psychology, it's about studying us.
It's
about studying us. So, I learned in psychology from Abraham Maslow, my favorite psychologist, that the human being is constantly in the state of self-actualization, meaning he is constantly becoming, living up to his full potential. And that we don't have forever to self-actualize. This is your day of self-actualization. This is your day of judgment. Everybody's being judged. So when you walk before another man, you walk before God. You walk before Allah. And our forefathers are here with us today. And they're very much alive. You look at that young leader from King of Faso, Ibrahim Traore. He's getting this country together. We are one people. Internationally. But we were divided. I will speak about hate. Because I don't hate nobody. But right is wrong. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. We as Moors stand for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. When these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Now, if you look at that brother, Ibrahim Traore, he done up with us, and let's say, wow. He got the whole world looking at him. So, over here in America, while they feed you all these drugs and the wrong food, because they don't want you to self-actualize. They don't want you to live up to your fullest potentials. And fire them neurons. Neurons is messages that come to your brain down to your nervous system. So when you start living clean, the neurons fire even more powerful. We have to go back to the ways of our forefathers. They were righteous people who walked the earth. A lot of times I sit and think about my grandmother, my grandfather, my mother. They were righteous people. And I looked at the moral decay in America today. I said, wow. I look at the leadership. I learned in psychology that IQ equals mental age over chronological age times 100. And I look at the little boys in positions to try to lead the rest of the masses. The so-called black man image is under attack all over the world. But remember this, that the Holy Spirit, when you have the Holy Spirit, it don't teach you to be afraid of nothing. And no man, you should let the Holy Spirit come alive in you. Exodus 20 said, thou shalt not have no other gods before me, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Well, why are you afraid of these graven images? Why are you letting man attack your manhood? And he wants to be the alpha male all over the world. And because we are the people of a Allah's choice, we are the richest in the world, all around the world. So when we are born, we have a birth certificate, and that birth certificate helps us pay for a lot of things we get through life. They got to trust for us. So the natural resources, gold and silver, belongs to the true citizens of the land. And that's what over in other countries and stuff, school and health, all that is free. So what's truly on my mind today is I want my people to come off the cross, get up out of them graves and walk. And get the true anointing of the Holy Spirit. Because Allah has given us the gifts of sight, speech, and hearing. Speech is a gift. Learn how to use your common sense and speak intelligently. I'm going back, what I was talking about earlier, I always bring this up about them scorching winds. When in the Quran it says, Iblis, it said angel, he told the angel about that Adam, Iblis refused. He was one of the halting ones. He said, I'm not bowing down to him. He even made a clouds, made scorching winds. Well, I said, get out here, you rejected one. He prayed so long, granted me respite. Allah granted me respite. He says, very well, I will come from their left and from their right. And before them and behind them, you will find most of them ungrateful. I'll stand the straight way of religion. So them scorching winds come from our left and right. In order to self-actualize and be the best at who you can be, you got to beat them scorching winds. Anger, alcohol, sex, passionate sex, is done the right way. Don't have sex with anybody, any woman or any man. This sex is reproduction of love. Then also the scorching winds is the alcohol you drink, the cigarette you smoke, the pipe. Women take it that straightened comb going through their hair. I was recently studying that a lot of these women, they really need to put their hijabs on and wrap their head with the most hair to glory. But a lot of our sisters, they be wearing somebody else's hair, stuff from India and places like that. And before they get it, they make sacrifices to their God and run away their karma, their sins and stuff. And it goes on the so-called black woman's head. So,
well, I also want to make sure I say this because it's on mine in terms of this topic. I don't want to go too hard on the woman.
All right, I love them.
Lord, no, we love them, but I have something to say. Well, because the chemicals and all the things that they consume, it's they more than anybody else. It's a lot of the makeups, a lot of the the perfumes and even the hair. A lot of the hair is synthetic, and some of it is natural, hair. But even that, like spiritually, you got to think about where this hair is coming from. Like if it's coming from a victim or things of that nature. But yeah, who knows exactly where the real hair is coming from? But even outside the real hair, a lot of it is synthetic, and these things they're finding the adverse effects of a lot of these products now, and it was just all for vanity. So we got to be real mindful of all the artificial stuff that they're selling to us, just to look a certain way or smell a certain way or whatever, when there's so much great things in nature that God provides, that Allah provides, that it smells great, keeps us, looking beautiful, and we don't have to worry about, giving all of our money to them for some stuff that's harming us.
Yeah, we had gone away from the natural order of things, like they call it Africa. The keep alive. The keep on means the Garden of Eden. So the Holy Quran also says, "Let not the evil one cause you to split, as he caused your parents to split the garden. Let not them take off their garments of righteousness, for he swore to you that he was your sincere advisor, but to you he is an open enemy. For him to thrive, sit in a position where you cannot sin, then go desert. Then did Satan cause them to slip from the state of mind that they were in the state of bliss, the garden state. So the Garden of Eden is also a state of mind. So they, the colonizers came into the indigenous land, and we learned his ways and stuff. And our mind ain't in the garden no more and stuff until we resurrect. This is the day of our resurrection. And our ancestors live with us and stuff. They're here to aid us and resurrect in this day.
So we got to pay attention to the signs that are out there. There's so many more, so many more things that are happening that is proof. The proof is there. So it's like there's no excuse. There's not much excuse anymore to continue down certain paths. But you're right, Mo. We said we're talking about the Doctrine of Discovery. We didn't say too much about it, I feel like. However, everything we said was all about it, because the results of the Doctrine of Discovery is why a lot of us are in the state that we're in, because of the land being occupied and colonized, and then we're taking on their ways.
Well,
their ways is led us in a lot of bad situations.
Another one of the ways we have to be focused, because the name of the tree that the magician or the wizard made you step from a lot of you name that tree is?
No.
It's called a Hollywood tree.
Okay.
So you got the Hollywood tree and stuff, and you got the movie stars and stuff like that, and then you look at the wizard, you got a tadpole with all these stars on it and so forth, and they broadcast. They cast a spell on you, and they, if we're not careful, then you got to use signal for its last evil self-defense mechanism is called. Last tool is called ritual endurance and intellectualization. So what we had to do, we had to come back into our own and stuff, and be in that garden state of mind, that peaceful state of mind. And because the enemy is trying to pull you off the path. And as people all walks in life is on the path. I learned that in the Holy City. But we had to start making ourselves round and holy, clean our environment up. Because a lot of people died. A lot of people came up with me, they just gone because they were off the path. And I'm thankful for all my years, and I want to give back. I have a lot to give. We want to create more rites of passage here for younger brothers. Inshallah, the sisters help the sisters, and then we have our own institutions like Nation of Islam, Temple number 35. They have classes on teaching about bad self, because the greatest weapon in the world is positive thought. The enemy would try to make you act like a beast. Luke's with Satan, devil, dragged with beast. And a lot of them know that we can do better than that, because it's cleanup time. And the people around the world, a lot of people don't want to clean up. They don't even want to share the wealth, which don't belong to them. You ask how a lot of people got rich and stolen. Most of them stole. They climbed on the back of somebody else to get where they are now. But the natural resources was there before we got here. The gold, the silver, the oil, and stuff like that.
So just real quick, can we? I still don't feel like we even said what the Doctrine of Discovery is. So, or maybe I missed one.
I wanted you to read the Doctrine of Discovery.
Okay.
Can you look it up?
Yeah, no, I have pulled up. I pulled up. I figured give me a.
We want to talk about Los Angeles too. Like the Doctrine of Discovery is what Pope Alexander VI said wanted to capture the lands of all the indigenous people when Christopher Columbus came over here and all them and they captured the Americas. Before that, we were indigenous. Some part was indigenous. We were the empire here too. But it was like, the Doctrine of Discovery is all a part of the crusades to make the whole world into Catholics.
Exactly. No, I mean, I learned a lot today about, where this comes from, because you told me to pull it up, be like, I want you to read it. I said, all right, I've heard of the Doctrine of Discovery, but I never actually went into some of the research. And it's interesting because there's multiple. They're not necessarily one Doctrine of Discovery. There's multiple papal bulls that they call. Multiple of them. From
Alexander VI, his son was they said that when you see Jesus, right? They'll call Jesus, that was a betrayal of his son. And he told basketball, Michelangelo, which was his friend, and Leonardo da Vinci, right? To pay attention of Jesus being white, and then why you had to paint the rest up in this so-called hell.
Yeah, Mo, skewing history and stealing history, essentially. So, before that was the first one that they're saying was Dum Diversis, which was Pope Nicholas V, which is 1452. And this bull authorized the king of Portugal to invade, capture, vanquish, and subdue all non-Christians and reduce the persons to perpetual slavery. That was the first doctrine to be put out in 1452. That's the Crusades. So that's the Crusades before.
So going back, come on, you come from the left, right before you got it. What's in that for? So that's the Crusades. We're still.
There's land.
Wait, go ahead.
There's land. So, then there goes on after 1452. It's 1455. 3 years later, still Pope Nicholas V had rights to Romanus Pontifex, which granted Portugal dominion over all lands discovered along the West African coast and the right to enslave the inhabitants.
Right. So that's still in effect to the day. I mean, as far as they could tell, right? That's why. We come from the line of the prophets. We're related to the prophets, right? Are all true and divine prophets. They come to elevate us to live on a higher plane. So, the message of the black man was saying that I will send fiery serpents at you. They were sent to chastise us, to get us back in line with Allah.
So this past, this last pope, I'm sure the new pope we have now, I'm saying we, I'm just saying who's the pope in charge now of the Catholic stuff. Catholicism, I'm not going to disrespect, but it's, he did a lot, he said a lot about the Doctrine of Discovery and mentioned it. Yeah, he mentioned that it was bad. He condemned it. He's like, he condemned it, and he went to Canada. And I think he, gave something to some natives in Canada in relation to the Doctrine of Discovery. I made mention of it. I forgot exactly what happened, but that's one. That's just one instance of that of many that he needs.
Los Angeles.
Exactly.
That's what's happening. Say letting all the immigrants back, but they're immigrants.
Exactly.
So. I'm saying we are the indigenous people. We're the real Americans. You read it. The real Americans are top. That's us. So,
Brother Columbus documented who was here when he actually never even came to mainland America. He was only in the Caribbean.
Right. And then after Ivan the Settler, it came before Columbus.
Of course.
So they don't want us to teach our children, but we don't need it. he would tell me anyway. Martin Luther King said, I'm afraid the gate will into a brand new house. Then they made the roof was all on fire, roof was fire. So on. But I was a lifeguard for about 17 years, and I don't hate nobody, but the thing is, it's not you come around, you got to be in law and order. That's why they call it Sharif, I mean, law and order.
Sheriff, Mom.
Yep. So people proclaiming, even the so-called black politicians, they look like, to me, they look like Barbie and Ken dolls, because they're bred, they don't represent the cause. They're number one going back to who we are. We ain't even black.
Right.
That's why they call them people Latinos, right? They always got labels that they're white people. So that's why the props is know thyself. So when you know yourself, you can elevate to a higher level. But let us forget the flesh and go with the mind and land of fleshless things. Back was through the ages, masterminds can trace themselves until they know we masterminds.
Man, yeah. So we have some more flyers to hand out, but one of my favorite things to say, and what we have on the big on the one side of the flyer is, if you think you're Negro, black, or colored, you and more.
Well, so that's all part of the say too. That's how they rob us of our wealth by making us doubt ourselves. As long as you believe that you Negro, black, and colored, it can make you poor too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that and stuff? Because that's they don't teach me.
Well, I have my own understanding of the situation, because, we have so many great people that came before us, ancestors that came before us, that proudly proclaimed being black, and used it in a positive manner, I would say.
Well, it's a positive way to look at it too.
No different than me. We just got to talk about the ocean.
Black is the highest on the color spectrum. Everything came from black, but the way they say that, the way they use it as an adjective, it ain't a noun. It's an adjective, right? Describing something, right? But in all reality, that's the highest on the color spectrum, but they use it tertiary. So it's the way people use that. But I'll have thought, like, also, if you see a ship out on the ocean, it was flying a black flag, that means somebody died on that ship. What color they wear girls?
We're black.
Nope. What color they wear women?
Or they don't wear white. I don't know. They wear the white.
They should wear white.
Well, I think I heard that only the whites should wear white. At least that's what they do in this culture.
Right. But I was bride and white and all that. So
yeah, bride wears white. So I think nobody else is supposed to.
So, but what's wrong with us? We're lost sheep caught up into somebody else's culture.
Yeah.
Just let me prove something to you real quick. We just came up out of March, right? Yeah. What was marching in at
March?
Mars, the God of War.
Mm-hmm.
We get ready to go, and then you got July. What you think those know about it? Yeah. How about August?
August. Augustus.
September. September, it was a black Roman Emperor. Roman Emperor.
Okay.
It was black. Because they had so-called black that ruled in Rome, the original Romans. It goes back in the Babylonian demonstration. So this real deep. That's why I say about people out there, read, because it's fun once you start getting learning knowledge about yourself. You resurrect, you come alive. And we've been dead too long. We don't have to be low frequency. Human beings are more time up to get on high frequency and generate all that light, just like photosynthesis. You ever heard of that?
We're processing light into energy.
Right. So that's what we're man well doing now and stuff. It's called photosynthesis, right? Where the plants draw the energy from the sun where we let our life back to you.
It's land.
Ooh.
Okay. So, yeah, the protest, as you said, it's a testament to the doctrine of discovery and how, these are people that are original to this land. They are essentially, they can say uprising, but it's not much different than Palestine, and it's not much different than our situation as Asiatics.
Then you got the case laws too. You got a lot of them like to play both sides. We are people, we'll reach out to other people, something, they forget where they come from. Just also, when I was out, I was out National Guard Army, not what the 2 months on it. And then it's back, it's good. But those people always talking about, then there's 15 feet wide. I said, what is that? They said, that's a new version of something that's been so forth. And it looked like, then I started thinking about what's happening over in Israel. They was prepping for Israel comparable stuff like what's up in California, LA. What I'm saying to my people out there in the audience is that they both tell and you gotta watch who you vote for. And this what's happening now stuff, them people is are not doing the right thing. We gotta get rid of them. This day is stuff. This is the day for us to unite as Americans and get rid of white supremacy and all this stuff. And say found by brothers from sea to shining sea. We in America got to learn how to humble ourselves. That we got politicians that keep talking trash to people in Africa without this greatest basket of the world. And when you sit at the table, you learn how to humble yourself because the natural resources, the cobalt, with cell phones and oil and gold oxide coming from there, and Burkina Faso, they don't even have, a lot of them don't even have electricity. They give France electricity all the time. So that colonization, but I'm not talking about its colony. Show me anywhere on the script where they were put or with me. They had a leaf. I don't have no problem with help up with the quality humanity. And I see somebody in need, I try to help them. The law put me in a position to help that individual. So that's with me. It's helped me have the love. All my work, all my life is always been up with the falling down. But sometimes you run into things that people cannot live. That sometimes every spirit been resurrected. Who won't dig up all my girls? They go crazy. We have to be cautious and know as we walk through life.
Isn't that more? So we, something I had some conversation with some family and loved ones, and in regards to the protests, should we as Moors or so-called Black people in America, should we be in that fight with the mostly Hispanic, and also you see a lot of, you do see a lot of European Americans out there as well, just fighting that. Some of them seem to be agitators. Some just there's a board, it seems like they just want to be out there doing something.
See, because you got the oligarchs from all families, women families.
Okay.
They just got a lot of money, and it's like it's called that. Half and half, not it's in young days, man. A proletarian bourgeoisie.
And
So we have to recognize that We don't watch them. Not trying to get rid of the form. Cut out. Then you have people think it's all about white and stuff. People are not crayons. Now look at the big picture and how we want this world to go forward from being new age, this new world order. And so Libra Dean Trelawney in Burkina Faso showed him up in my son showed how people resurrected and they get a different attitude, like and throw away the old attitude, what people think. You gotta kill people, still enriching the land. Every time you turn around, your sons and daughters are going to war and dying. That ain't cool. Where's the moral fiber here in America? Which, people, when us come up, they had morals, strong morals. We don't even have the morals that we used to have at all. We can't be no role models or leaders for the world acting like that. But people are crazy. Other countries got exactly what we have got. Was these weapons. It's not like that. But our country sold made certain deals. We have the military industrial complex, the prison industrial complex, and the prison industrial complex. Look at a lot of our people make money off to the births that they put them in jail and stuff like that. And people better wake up and stop going to jail and get on the path.
Stay out of those jails, definitely. Back out there.
Once you're on the path, he wants to show you that you can win. So, it's certain the allegory to stuff they make money off. All this really makes them nothing, but our pals and the vote and stuff, I don't hate nobody. I don't, because that's karma. When you get to hitting people, stuff like that, that come back on your stuff. We have not with all in that. And that's why we're more shut up in that instead of love to things, freedom of justice, and then each person who violated justice, then must take his course.
So should you hate the devil? You shouldn't hate the devil?
Well, the devil's himself. You gotta control those scorching winds with himself. The devil is those scorching winds attacking you. So when you master self, you know about those scorching winds. Anger, alcohol, the wrong food, etc., bad relationships. So that's the devil. So walking right and stuff, we got to learn how to walk with the law, so we can deliver us from all that. So we can demonstrate freedom, justice, and equality. Bring that to her. We need some
teachings of Jesus. Teachings of Jesus.
We need some land that we call. Well, it really belongs to us anyway, but we need to separate these people that way stuff. So people more.
Well, Boston acting right or not, I think we need our own land, and this is my thought process on
limit that.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is why I love the teaching of the Nation of Islam, because it's all about truth of self. And something I heard the Honorable Louis Farrakhan say was, he equated it to a house. It's like, hey, we should have our own house. It's not to say that we don't allow guests into our house. It's not to say that we hate the other houses. It's just, no, we have our own house, and they can have their own house, and we should be able to have the best together and be neighbors and be friends. But right now we don't have our own house. We live on their land.
The house divided
by their rules. What?
House divided can't stand. This is the house. This house is divided. You ever heard that? The house divided can't stand.
Yeah.
So we get division all around and stuff like that, and certain group of people saying getting rid of the immigrants, say immigrants.
Yeah.
So that whole topic need to be reevaluated.
So between the, I guess all the European nations are complicit, and most importantly, the Pope, or the office of the Pope, the Vatican,
we had
the Catholic Church.
King Leopold letter. You need to read that. Have you ever read that?
Yes, I did.
10 million Congolese for their natural resources. They still attacking us for our natural resources.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was all. I think it's all connected to the papal bulls. He's using
the
sure.
agreement how they split up Africa.
Yeah,
That we was minding our business. So now you got to look at reality. I'm not saying all people are bad, but you got to check people in the light when they come with that investigative stuff. And then they got the baddest agency and stuff like that. You know, the baddest spies. And no, we got to come at them with the heavens. That ain't just much real. And they'll do a lot for us too. And I'm not talking about and the ancestors, right? They everywhere we go, a host of them walk with us. That's real. They saw our spirituality. They thought they saw our spirituality, but we weren't as powerful.
What can we give to people that are, you know? So I'm actually come hip to know that people are watching that I not expect to be watching this podcast. Like people that they're my, you know, everyday life that, you know, I don't talk to about, you know, me coming to the temple or me being part of, you know, certain organizations, including the Moor Central America Federation, Moor Central America. I was surprised to know that they listen to our podcast, and a couple of people, and I was like, well, that's interesting. So to some people that are interested in, you know, the knowledge or this knowledge or just more knowledge in general, on a spiritual level, how can they or how can we as well, you know, what kind of tips can we give to get better in tune with our ancestors and our spiritual?
Well, that's what I'll share with the Moorish rites of passage.
Okay.
That's a powerful plan. Well, right now, with the young brothers, so they can help them adapt and then they become ready.
There's like,
we want to give it up and go, well, we know they go by and telling us, don't teach us nothing. Because I graduated from the oldest historical black college. It's called Tyshan, and it taught me a lot there. And I really want to get back. A lot of my professors are gone and stuff like that. But I was blessed and I was honored to go to such a place. And I looked at one of the courses I took was mental health. And I looked at the condition in now. And a lot of times when we have a mental problem, we go to the mental health.
Yeah.
And they create the problem.
Oh my goodness.
So
were you spiritual back then? Like when you were at Cheney and you were in the...
I've always been spiritual. My mother's seventh child. She said, always said seventh child, the blessed child. So out of 10, it's only 2 left. You know, what people used to laugh at me, you know, spiritual. I'm real spiritual. You know, the spiritual, they open up doors. So,
yes, one thing I do have come to understand is that there's more than what needs to die, and you know, it's really good. You know, living in this reality is good to know all of this reality, and you know, it's not all about what you're being taught in schools or what's being shown to you on the television. You know, if you're only listening to that or watching that or being told that, you know, the same stuff over and over again, you're not really being wise to all of the knowledge that is out there. And before, you know, I used to, you know, I got off of the word belief because there's a lot of things that I don't necessarily believe. It's more so I know. You can know.
So yeah, salvation and ladder reaching from salvation and ladder reaching from the heart of man to the heart of law, and that's 3 steps. Belief is first, this is man, things will happen. True. Faith is not, this is man, knows truth. Wishing last, this is man, itself the truth. Belief is lost in faith, and wishing faith is lost. Man is staying in you think it like the deal I want.
And you lost me somewhere in there, Mo.
That's what it lessons.
Yeah, I need to study my lessons.
Chapter 7.
Oh, chapter 7. Yeah, you have that stuff down, Mo. I need
well, that's say, you know, ancient law, I'm reaching out to all my brothers. It's got to be a lesson because at one time the slavery was allowed to be like king. And that's the people come from darkness and Bible slavery because your 400-year enemy liked it down in the dark. The people of the Dark King, they don't like that light, so that's why you see the stuff going out in California. So if the sons of light coming, what's going to happen? That's what we are. We hear the voice sounds that little port nation is loud, have the little but we the sons of light. Where light to commit, where the brothers and sisters up down in the desert, up out that storm, up out of the wilderness in North America. Lost and found nature is law. We have that, one of my favorite, another favorite quotation in the Quran, quotes in the Quran says, if you are firm and mindful of Allah and come understand that path, we will reinforce you with 5,000 angels. And then another part of it says, and we have ordained lamps in the lower heavens for the shade color. I looked at the footnotes and lamps, lights, misses. So it knew there was speed of light. How fast speed of light?
It's in my lesson, though. I did
201 miles per second. So we learned how to give up carnal custom and, stop living and caught up in the flesh. We get real spiritual. It's a whole different operation. It's an operation greater than the U.S. government. It's greater than any operation in this world. That's what the prophets was trying to get us connected with. That's what the ancestors were trying to get us connected with. That operation. We'll draw at least in worship under your own vine and fig tree. When we come under our own vine and fig tree and stuff, and then they ain't a part of our roots, it don't work. We don't let nothing uproot us. We grounded into this mission. We rooted into Islam. We have many teachers. I don't talk bad about none teaching, because if I do a lot, forgive me, because we're all part of one order. And we got long ways to go from darkness and marvelous light. Come from one storm into another storm. Some storms can be, we say, as Jesus at Pittsburgh still. But the storms of light are raging.
This land. So, we're here. 715 North King Street. Yes, we have events happening. We have programs available to uplift anybody that wants the knowledge and needs the knowledge. We have folks on multiple schools of thought, multiple sciences. We are the Moor Culture Center. It's not, we're using the term Moor, but it's not necessarily only, Moor Science Temple of America. It's not only noble duality. It's not only, that is the main catalyst. That is the main guiding light of our operation. We have a Moor Science Temple where we're in the temple here, right here, the center of the building. And we perform, Moorish prayer, and we, give out honors and respect to Moorish leadership. However, outside of this temple, we have other knowledge, and I still consider it to be more science, to be honest, because I believe that more science means more sense. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I still find that, and that's why the center is still called the Moor Culture Center. It is more cultures than just one culture. We do encourage people to, or at least I do. I encourage people to study all cultures, and from there you implement your own culture, and you would imagine that it comes heavily from your own ancestors, from your own family, but you have to be real mindful and aware of where these practices are coming from. Like you said, if you really takes a lot of our culture back, you notice that it is a negative a lot of it is negative. Some of it is negative, and you can't say a lot of it is negative because of indoctrination and because of the doctrine of discovery, because of these of us taking on the practices and cultures of others, and it's harming us. A lot of that.
What? White Anglo-Saxon person
taking on the lot.
I'm not talking about good ones. You know, you got good people or what, like, well, you got some people that's psychological, you know, they can't man, like, right at Kings, they thought they was chosen by God to be leading up the world. There was when you my brothers stand up and get a man, don't let their body psychologically act and live and lower their self-esteem. It's a law where greed, wisdom, knowledge, overstanding, the work that you did. But you become the line, put on the full armor, with the helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, shield, faith to put yourself from all fire, dust, and wicked, and sword of truth with your spirit, because the word was made flesh.
There's lamb. That's also why the word being made flesh. Yes. We are the word.
It is wisdom, knowledge, and the word, you know, the word is made. We study a lesson and bring it forth, God, all humanity, the word made flesh. That's what it is.
It's lamb. All this, and basically every time I talk to you, it reminds me of how much I need to study. It reminds me of how much I know that it reminds me of how much a student I am and how much filling I still need to do with my cup.
Did you get still up in there? Mention around Muhammad talk.
Oh, of course, Mo. Of course, you know. So he spoke on a class again. You know, they spoke on a class, which we spoke heavily about when he came for our podcast here at the center, and it, you know, it's a truth that you're not used to hearing. You don't get that kind of understanding. Of course, you don't get that kind of understanding of scripture. You know, something that the Nation of Islam does, and I noticed Elijah Muhammad does, and where the live teaching comes from. They don't only teach out of the Quran; they do teach out of the Christian Bible, because it is all, you know, our history is just been tampered with and altered to, and been used and manipulated in a tricky way. So
what language did Jesus speak in?
Arabic.
Yeah. So when he was praying to him, when what the Garden of Gethsemane, he was praying a lot. One question, maybe a minister out there, Christian minister, can answer for me. The Apostles' Creed, they said that Jesus, they said he ascended into hell, the third day rose again from the dead. He set us for heaven, sit on right hand. God, Father Almighty. So they said he was children in 3 days. So when I count from 3 days from Friday, that's Monday. So I wonder why they celebrate all Sunday. Maybe somebody can tell me, because that needs to be corrected. Because that's not the truth.
Yeah, I mean, it just has to be confronted and understood. I think we understand definitely that, Holy Day is, and it's just like Holy Land is wherever you see Allah manifested, which is, every day. Some days it might not be as much as others, depending on, the cycle that you're in, or the cycle of the sun even. But for the most part, every day, as soon as the sun comes up every day, or however you want to describe that science, it's evident. It's evident that every day is holy. It's evident that every moment is holy. And but we do have to be mindful of all the pseudo Mondays for this day, Tuesdays for that day. I mean, I think that helps to an extent.
Well, Sunday, and Monday, the moon.
But when is that? Well, when does these days start? Like, when do these days? How do we know it's Monday? Like, how do I really definitely know that it's Monday?
Calendar. That's what done.
Why do I know? Why can't we
done in which? That's why we got to study from. That's part of the sorcery, right? Like Thursday, Fool's Day, right? And Saturday, Saturn, Day.
So we're on like a 7-day cycle. Is that what we should be on? Should we be planning our weeks or planning our time or looking forward in time or back in time in forms of 7 divided by 7 or 7 days over the course of 4 weeks over the course of 12 months?
The Morse command says is measure time by cycles.
By cycles.
That's the cycles, many cycles.
Yeah.
That's why, circle, it's always too much. Circles involved, circle 7. What's in it?
It's land. It's land. So, man, I feel like we went, like as normal, Mo, we went over a lot of stuff and we went all over the place. I feel like I have a lot more to say though.
so this, us and our fellowship, even with the nation, with Islam and what Sunday, this is their too.
Yeah.
And we need that, I studied the heavy as it's like between psychology, right? We need that therapy and self-actualize. We need that therapy, right? It constantly keeps us in this state of resurrection that we should be in.
And part of that isn't only, isn't only mental. I mean, or even just spiritual. I think that's obviously where it starts, but we have to continue moving more in this visible realm. Because every day we're waking up in this visible realm and dealing with
turn the fire switch on. We in touch with something better than down bar but power light when it comes to Islam. We can return on the Noor, a light, the 91st attribute of law is Al Noor. And you know what that's in corresponds to? The sun is 91,000 miles a minute.
Okay.
That's the light.
Mm-hmm.
So, the sun's light, man. We have a cleanup mission that allowed, we're watching this over us by day and by night, please dollars. Then let's see the artists more, so get up, brother. That's the work for you to do.
We got some work to do. So we have, what do we have coming up, Mo? We're going to be here Saturday? Or what?
Yeah, we'll be there Saturday.
What time I'm talking? Spray out there so and I said that. Saturday is a Saturday. I think there's a lot of protests happening on Saturday, Mo. Not to say that actually, I think I might even seen signs out front that said we can't park in the front building because it might be doing some. I think it might be because of protests, because President Trump is having, it's his birthday, I guess. He's doing an Omni, the Omni celebration, and they're, doing some North Korea style stuff where they're marching all the weapons and stuff down a parade, down the lower Lacy.
She would go middle age of about 100. What's that?
No, I don't.
I'm just sitting there on it.
Man, so I missed it.
That's it before. So we have to understand our culture, not their culture, And I'm not bashing at nobody. It's felt this is all part of self-actualization by it. Because our manners complicate that. So are they back in the manner?
Yeah.
All right, so board science and giving to us to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
What color is your flag?
My flag is red. I have a couple flags.
Yeah, all right.
I have a red flag and I have a white flag.
What color is a Morse flag?
Morse only red.
But
Also, we have the red, black, and green. They're with the 5 points though.
Right. So stand up. I'm not everything for everybody, but we represent our flag, we represent our nation, and a lot of things. There's a lot of disorder going on, and they wrote to scale with the divine. They want the heavens divine, like, and we can't go straight because we always went, but they want divine. And we want to like the more sides and mention this law in the box and boxes. Yeah.
Like, we're here, someone from North. We're here, someone from North King Street every Friday, Holy Day. Here at the Moor Science Temple, come here and pray with us, and also speak, speak life out of the Moorish Holy Quran and other sacred texts, holy and divine texts.
And by all means, don't let them energy vampires steal the energy you got greatest when it's focus on.
Yeah.
Because people love to steal the energy, especially when you get your people on the right path, walking right, the path that Allah has ordained for us to be on. So what's on enemy with life will take you off that path and put you on the path. If you come from north and south and west,
Islam.
ambush you.
That's right. That's right. You gotta be real mindful. You're sin souls, come and practice self-defense with us. Come practice. How much of us keeping that on the wraps, but come practice martial arts with us, self-defense with us, Universal Academy of Martial Arts. We're here every Saturday. I'll make sure once we figure out exact time, I'll speak with other members and see if we get exact time so I can post and let the public know when we'll be here. We did have some.
We had everybody in, but we did that.
Yeah, I mean, if they're as of now, I have extended the offer to everybody. If they provide a donation, well, okay, all right. I mean, I'm just saying I did extend the invitation to people that wanted to come and they would have to donate though. They have to support the center. That's amazing.
That was well, it's a passage. Yes, that's a mention that like and mantra. Not part of it.
So yeah, you come for that, and you bring, if you have a young, or not too young, what would be the age for you would say the limit if there was a youngest child you want to step into the class?
Yeah, now 6.
6.
6.
Okay.
So
you're saying so
education to somebody out there involved in their life, together where they're to help them, all about education, because education is not force, and education is part of it, psychological development. And once you get educated, they don't take them the triple white theory. We're allowed to read and write in slavery. So ain't nobody got a whiff on now saying that you can't read and write. Except we named the garden taught men's thing. It said, all the trees were ink pens, and you were exhausted ocean 2 times with ink, it would not exhaust. And you was built ocean 2 times with ink, it would not exhaust. And while it's wisdom, knowledge, we all have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding it.
Rizamo, on the note of education, we will be hosting. We'll be making an announcement very soon, if not tonight. Might a little late tonight, so probably announce tomorrow about the Universal Youth Day we'll be hosting here next Friday. We were supposed to have it this coming Saturday, but because of the weather, we'll be postponing it and pushing it back. Also because of timing, just to make sure everything is set up correctly. But our brothers up from Philadelphia, Universal Street Academy, they held a few of these events, Universal Youth Days in Philadelphia the past few days, at public libraries, at schools, and they hand out certificates, gifts, not gifts necessarily, but food, juice, and things like that to school, to young school children, to anybody that completed the school year. Basically, they just show your report card, show that you completed the school year, And, not every child is giving that kind of recognition, especially in certain areas, they're kind of just, almost just not forgotten about. I looked up, like my daughter goes to a school public school that, a lot willing, we will be having a more universal school that is not just the public school she's in now, this coming semester. But they have, also trying to call a minute phone call. But, her school, I looked up the statistics. Her school literacy rate and math rate, all that kind of stuff was like, 80th percentile or 70th, maybe even some of the ones. But either way, it was high up. The public school we have around the corner from the center is Pritchard Academy. Theirs were in the single digits, Mo. From 10 times the I'm not sure what the literacy rate and the math rate. There was some kind of rating system they had for these public schools. And the school my daughter attends currently in outside of the city, in Hocassin. She got school choice. She did school choice. They would get Wilmington out there, and our school was rated in the 80th percentile, 80th. The 80s, and the ratings are in the 80s. And where in here, right around the corner from here, Pritchard Academy, the ratings are in the single digits. And the low double digits, like 12. I'm like, how is right? What is the impact that socioeconomic status have on critical thinking? Mm-hmm. So I hear what you're saying, but remember, this is all part of don't discover us. The divide us can't stand. They, got an awesome look about who made all the invention in the world. Exactly. We supposed to be this and that. We invented everything. So that's why we hit. We can help with that. And we have to learn how to love our institutions, Nation of Islam, what Science of America, the Masjid al-Kawthar, and all that. We got to support our own institutions. Yeah. We got to facilitate in a situation like that. Even you might not even be in school, but when we see a little child, I just come out with it necessary. I teach them things. That's what we're here for. And we want, parents to bring their children. If you have a child, K through 6, that, completed the school year, but maybe didn't have the best grade, but still completed it, we still going to give out certificates. It's not about having the best grades. It's about just completion. And if you did, commit to the school year, at least if you get through it, even if we have bad grades, we want to see the report cards, because we can see, if there is certain children that have bad grades, we want to make sure we put some knowledge and wisdom into them and light into them to encourage them to going forward to take it serious, to take education serious, and to just help them. I'll give them a better understanding of how education can be used for the betterment of them, their family, and the community that they live in. So, we're here to push that. We are just hosting it. This is organized by Universal Street Academy out of Philadelphia, and they're helping fund this. They're helping get this day done. We're going to do it right in front of the center. We're going to do it. We're going to have a table set up, giving out food and refreshments, and the report card is what we can use to disseminate how you're going to get it. When you can't just give out food to everybody that walks up. Our center is in the middle of downtown Wilmington. And I'll probably close out and then come back quick. Take care of business, Mo. We can't just give out. We're in a busy area. We can't, we're right in front of the bus stop, right in Culture Street from Doubletree. And it's a busy area, walking distance from Ryman Square. And, we can't just give out food to anybody and everybody. We don't have the funds for that currently. But where we do have extra, we will try to give to as many people as possible. But first and foremost is for the children. We're going to have fruit. We're going to have treats. And we're going to have juice and, healthy treats. And, but good treats that children should appreciate and parents should appreciate, just bringing a child in the report card. So Universal Youth Day, this coming Friday, I believe that is the 21st. 715 North King Street. And that weekend, right after that, I've got the dates are probably long because the 22nd is supposed to be Sunday, so maybe Friday is the 20th. Oh man, another level right now. Yeah, 20th is fine. My apologies. Next Friday, June the 20th, Universal Youth Day here from the Moor Culture Center, and look out for announcements on our Facebook and website. And here inside the center, that Sunday is Mommy's Table with Sister Abundance Child. Learn the best way to cook with plants. We're going to learn how to make lentil meat. We're going to learn how to make other delicious dishes using plants in an affordable way. We're going to make some salad dressing out of watermelon and watermelon pulp, I believe. I'm not sure how she's going to do that. I can't wait to figure out how to make good salad dressing, because what I will say is, people have an interesting understanding of diet and food and nutrition. Like they want to get healthy, so I want to eat salad. I need a salad. Okay, well, what's on your salad, right? Because the salad is just anything mixed up. Like you can have freaking Dorito salad. What's in your salad? And dressing is a hidden evil that you're adding to your salad. It was perfectly good. You had cucumbers, you got some carrots, you got some onions, you got some lettuce, and you have the different kinds of greens and the kale or the spinach. Beautiful stuff. And then all of a sudden you want to pour on a bunch of dairy, sugary, salty cream all over it, and you're really just defeating the whole purpose of your beautiful salad. So we're gonna learn how to make a good tasting and healthy, healing salad dressing out of watermelon. I can't wait. Sign up for that. MoorCultureCenter.com. Mommy's Table. You'll find the flyer and the link to register for that. We have space, but not too much. So tickets will be still sold out. I mean, come that day, I'm not going to just walk in. But get your tickets now. And inexpensive is the best way to learn how to cook with plants. I think I'm going to give away some tickets. Honestly, I think I'm going to make a post soon. I'm going to speak with Sister Abundance and make sure this is good with her. But I'm thinking about giving away 2 tickets because we need people there. We need people that are in this community to learn how to cook for their children in a healthier way. So, and I know not everybody has the very minimal fee of $30, which only covers us being able to do it. Like, nobody's profiting anything. It's to be able to, pay for our space, also be able to pay for ingredients you're going to be able to eat. And you're going to learn. It's a class. You pay, pay for learning. That's just how it works. And this is really just to cover ourselves, so we're not, losing money constantly. You have to be able to help sustain what we have going on here. So it's only $30, and that really covers the way to eating and their learning. So, but I know some people are going to have that. So we're going to give away 2 tickets to people that are deserving. If Sister Abundance agrees to that. And the reason why I need share it, just share it, because we need more people to know about it. Enough people are hip to what's happening here. So, look out for that announcement as well. I don't know what else. Oh, well, Juneteenth will be with Sister Abundance. I mean, you're traveling to Chicago, but we'll be to Delaware Art Museum on Juneteenth, which is that Thursday, and we'll be there with our tables, we have teas, and you have books. We have I got some action figures now. I don't know if you saw them out there, but we got some action figures for children, attire, clothes, and whatnot. Pull the mic up, Mo, to you. And yeah, like I said, I got a lot to say. I think we went longer than we ever gone before, doing just 2 of us.
Remember, love your institutions. North Side Temple America, Nation Islam, Masjid of Tawfiq, the churches, the city, study. Law covers all of those. And let not your heart be troubled. You believe John 14:1-3. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe me also. Where my Father's house your name advances, you are not so. I would have told you, say, far, go to prepare, where I am there, you may be also. By stage Quran. So I'll allow the no side says. What stages and degrees shall we teach you to declare this message, so that they will not forget that Allah will. We know the secret of your heart manifest and reveal. So everybody's on the degree, everybody's in a station where our lives, where a big scroll won't give up the fight. And we don't revive this city. This dead bar resurrection. That's all.
It is Lamb. On that note, we're going to sign off. You publish some more. Appreciate you dropping some wisdom. Peace.